Guys, today we've got a bunch of new update info to talk about, including what is probably the coolest thing, info about a Loki boss. Now, before we get into it, guys, if you are hoping to log into Fortnite and see that you've unlocked a ton of new skins, leave a thumbs up on the video, but be fast because we're jumping into it right here. Yes, guys, we have got so much to talk about, including, well, obviously the new Loki boss, but stuff with other bosses as well. And we're even going to be going over some secrets on the map and a glitch that you have to see. It's awesome. Now, as for the challenge with the comments on last video, the skin was Raz. So I went through and left hearts on a bunch of the ones that got that right. And this time around, let's go with this skin right here. So comment down below if you know the name of it, and I will leave hearts on a bunch of the ones that get that right. And also be sure to use code SIRS and comment if you use that as well. I will go through and leave hearts on as many of the ones I see with that too. Oh, and also guys, do not forget to subscribe because I've got so many awesome videos coming up soon. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into it. All right, guys, now for the first thing I want to go over in today's video, I thought we'd start it off today with a glitch. Like, you gotta see this, it's hilarious. So to do this one, it's super simple. We're just going to go into like Battle Lab, for example. This one actually has to do with emotes, so it's a ton of fun. But now that we're in here, we're instead going to go over to Misty Meadows. The reason we want to go over here is because we actually want to find a zip line. Now, there are a ton of zip lines in this area, but let's go, for example, to this one right here. And actually, we're going to go to the very end of it to start this glitch. Now, first things first, guys, there's two things you need for this. Obviously, one is like any normal emote that's non-traversal, and then you want an actual traversal emote, and preferably in like the first slot. You'll see why in just a second. So once you have those, you then want to go into your settings. And for example, I'm just going to do this on mouse and keyboard just because it's easier. But if we scroll down to the, where is it? The emote section, you'll see that you can bind each slot of your emotes to a specific key. So I just have mine on 3 for the traversal emote. But again, just make sure it's linked to any traversal emote that you have. I know it sounds a little complicated, but you'll see in just a second. But basically, guys, go into your emotes and find one that you actually want to turn traversal. Like, for example, the have a seat emote. That one's awesome. So as long as you're doing the emote near the zip line, you then want to press the key for the traversal emote you have and also enter the zip line at the exact same time. If you stay with your emote like this one right here, you likely did it right, because check this out. As soon as we get off of the zip line, we have turned this normal emote into a traversal one. It looks so funny. I am just sitting in a chair going super fast across the map. There's got to be some pretty funny ones in here. Oh, how about the beanbag emote? This will be perfect. So again, use the emote, and then we want to use the traversal one while entering the zip line. And just like that, we've turned it into a traversal beanbag. Oh my gosh, it looks amazing. Check that out. I love how with the full tilt emote too, we actually go faster since it's a really fast emote. That one looks incredible. What else can we do? Oh my gosh, the breakneck emote. Check this one out. It's the one where we're like upside down. I don't even know what to say. That looks so crazy. He's like a tumbleweed that's just going across the map. That does not look right whatsoever. Oh, okay. How about this one? The worm. One of the OG emotes. Yep, just as expected. That looks amazing too. Imagine this coming at you on the battlefield. Just a guy using the worm. You gotta admit, that'd be pretty scary. So yeah, that one's a really fun glitch to mess around with. But keeping it going here, guys, let's start talking a bit about bosses. Now, before we talk about the brand new boss, there's something with a previous boss that is incredibly interesting. So for this, we're just going to hop into like a solo match, for example. Hopping onto the map here, the place we need to go is over in Lazy Lake. I believe it's at that building right down there, which on the map, as you can see, is, yeah, right in that corner. This is definitely the one. We can see the NPC dialogue box right there, or the boss dialogue box, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to go down and talk to the character Marigold. So Marigold actually has like a lot of stuff to tell about the story, and somebody's here, which I do not like. You, sorry, man. I do not trust anybody trying to mess with us. Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. But as you can see, guys, she says it's happening soon. What in the world does that mean? Wait, do you say that again? Yeah, it's happening soon. Now, I think Marigold actually has some other dialogue options. Okay, so yeah, guys, I looked into it a little bit more, and back with one of the recent legendary quests, you may remember that it required you to talk to either Rick, Rook, Marigold, Maven, or Special Forces to see who's still loyal to the IO. Well, if you didn't go to Marigold, you wouldn't have seen this, but basically there's this interaction here. The player says imagined order, and then Marigold responds, I wouldn't say I support the IO, but I always make sure they support me. So again, a little bit mysterious, but it shows that Marigold has connections with the IO, which also connects with a map change I'm going to talk about here in the video in just a bit. But guys, now it's time to talk about brand new bosses and of course the Loki boss. So first things first, we're going to be getting a new boss slash NPC in the very near future with a ton of changes to Coral Castle. Now I've talked about this a little bit before, but we got even more details here. And like, just take a look at this, guys. Hypex had said Coral Castle will be abducted by the mothership in chunks, which will leave a crater where the IO will have their camp, and then Kymera will appear there with an exotic burst pulse rifle. Now again, there's a lot of interesting stuff to unpack there. The first of which is that Coral Castle will obviously be changed up a ton. That's intriguing because the mothership has been moving across the map. We know that confirmed because it started on, what was it, the south side, and now it's on like the east side. So honestly, it could take a few more weeks before it even makes its way all the way over there. Also, as a reminder, thanks to Mango, we got to see a bit of what the texture will look like for the new Coral Castle, which gives us a little hint for it. But again, the most interesting part is the new boss or NPC, Kymera. Again, you'll be able to buy an exotic burst pulse rifle from him, but not only that, you can see like right here, for example, his character description again says he may or may not come in peace. And also, as of right now, his location within the files is completely unknown, even though we kind of know where he's gonna be. So again, we don't know if he's friendly or not, and there's other stuff to suggest that he's not friendly. Now guys, moving on here to the main part of the video I want to talk about, the possibility of a Loki boss. That is right, guys, Loki, as you know, he recently released as the Fortnite crew pack at the beginning of July, and again, the skin is awesome. Even the pickaxe and like the glider is super cool. I love the animation on the glider. It's pretty sick. But yeah, people have been wondering if he is going to show up as a boss, so I wanted to talk a bit about it right here. Now, first things first, we have seen bosses continue to show up over the course of the season. I mean, we've already seen, what was it, Zig show up, and he had a brand new mythic in the recent update, although they later removed him. Now, for whatever reason, that could mean that they're making space for another boss, which could be Loki, but at the very least, it shows that they're continuing to add bosses. And again, since we know that the Kymera boss is going to be added in the near future, who's to say they don't add another one on top of that? Also, there are rumors of Superman being a boss as well. I believe there's even files supporting that. We may have to talk about that more in a separate video, but again, it's more proof that we could definitely see Loki show up on the map, especially with like a mythic weapon like his scepter. And I mean, check this out, guys. On the official wiki for like Marvel, if we look at the details for Loki's scepter, it says that one of the abilities is the ability to fire lethal energy blasts. Does that not sound like a mythic weapon that would be in Fortnite? I mean, imagine having the scepter and firing energy blasts from it. That would be so cool. But also, guys, we have to ask the question, if Loki shows up on the map, where is he going to show up? So like, for example, here, if we just hop into Battle Lab, let's see if we can find exactly where he's gonna be. So here we are, and honestly, this is a bit of a tougher question than you think it would be, because if we look on the map, guys, we know that we have Dr. Slone at Corny Complex, and then I think Zig was over here when he was actually on the map still. And then, of course, Kymera is going to show up at Coral Castle. So honestly, that leaves maybe somewhere over in this area, possibly somewhere on the snowy mountains. I'm trying to remember if Loki ever was in like a snowy area. I guess it would kind of make sense. I feel like it would. But yeah, I mean, check this out. There's plenty of space for a boss to show up here. They could even add like a special structure down here, considering this hasn't changed since the beginning of chapter 2. It's definitely a possibility. Maybe this is actually even more likely. What if he shows up over in this center area of the map? Because nothing has happened here, yet it's such an intriguing location, right? Like, why hasn't there really been anything this season inside of this area? It could be because they're waiting to add the Loki boss inside of this spot. Again, maybe a structure could be added to the center, and with that, they could easily add in like, what is it, Asgard type architecture from the world of Thor, and also where Loki was from in the Marvel universe. That would look great here, but that would honestly be so cool. Again, I think that's maybe more likely. That would be awesome. But next up after that, guys, we have a really cool update to the map, and for this one, I'm just gonna hop back into a solo match. But yeah, apparently if we go over to Believer Beach, they just added a bunch of new stuff. I mean, obviously we know that like the abductor was there and they added a stage, but this is even more new than that. Check this out, guys. The IO guards actually moved over to this location, or like a bunch of them did. They set up like a little outpost. Why did somebody land just behind me? That makes like no sense. Come on, man. I just want to check out like like the new outpost here. I mean, look at all of this. I wonder why they're specifically at Believer Beach. I mean, it's probably because of the giant UFO, right? Maybe, maybe not. But okay, let me grab a weapon here just in case. Appears we're already getting abducted, so that's not ideal. No, 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 leave me alone. I do not want to get taken. Luckily for us, these guys have really terrible aim, and you can run them over, which is pretty fun. But all right, yeah, let's get rid of these guys here because they are making it a lot tougher to actually see what is happening in this location. Come here, buddy. Boom. How do you still have health? There we go. We got them. But yeah, guys, they added IO chests, which are always super good. They give you like really good loot. Check that out. They added a camera to record what is going on in this area with the abductor. And whatever this thing is, I have no clue what that could be. And even like a little, what was this? An antenna? A satellite dish? I'm not really sure. But yeah, guys, I wonder what this means if more stuff is going to happen inside of Believer Beach. What do you guys think? But anyways, guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications for more fun videos like this coming up in the near future. On top of that, you can check out some of my previous videos on the screen right now, such as tons of info about the new Foundation skin. But again, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.